Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Mugshot Monday, Malfeasance Monday. It is Mouthhole Monday. Monday is the day where we
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about love after lockup. Yeah.
And all the things that make up that gumbo of a show.
I got to tell you, so I just listened to, I watched the episodes that I had missed, and then I
Uh-huh.
caught up on all the Bunky takeovers and
Oh.
listened to you and Kimberly. Y'all
Mm.
shit talked to me a little, but that's okay. It's okay. On my
What
own.
what what say that again?
Y'all shit talked to me a
We,
little.
oh, what do we say? What do we say?
I can't even remember, but it was towards the end, and they were like, "Ha ha ha! She's gonna be mad at us." Ha ha
I didn't think you were gonna listen to the show.
ha. Well, I figured I should because I did catch up on the episodes, but I wanted to make sure, like, I knew what you guys were saying about me, and I can't really remember, but it wasn't. It
Oh,
wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
all I can remember was saying Big Mama Warden Gilbert's out and we're taking over. I can't remember what we said at the end.
I can't either, but I was like,
Did
"All
we get in
right,
trouble? Did we get
no,
in
no, you're not in
trouble?
trouble. You're not in trouble." But
I was
it
like, did we
was
say anything naughty?
no. Listen, it's hard to get
Okay.
Kimberly to say anything naughty. Yeah,
I
I
know.
think
One
she
day I'm gonna
did say
bring it out of her.
bitch. I think she did say bitch.
How can you not say a cuss word around me?
Same with me. I think she did say bitch because normally she'll say bisque or biche. She
Oh,
never says bitch.
really?
They don't curse on their podcast at all. Not one bad word ever.
But does she cuss in real life?
Yes, she does. Don't let her fool you. She
Oh,
does.
so she just doesn't do it on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she
Hmm.
did. She did when I subbed in one time on their main
Okay.
feed. She was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to bleep that out." I was like, "Well, shit. I'm sorry. I forgot. It's
So
hard."
you can't even cuss if you're like a guest on their show?
No, they have to bleep it
Oh,
out.
okay.
They
Oh, well.
gotta keep their nice girl image, their good rating.
Oh, that's right. They have a
Yeah,
rating of what?
which is probably A plus clean, clean. They
I
are
don't
they
know
are
what mine is.
they are
I didn't
talking
even know
about
you could
murder.
see. I know.
No, it's
I
just
didn't.
explicit or not, but you're explicit and so am I. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Mm,
appropriate. That's
yeah.
on brand.
E for
Yes.
explicit. It used
Hmm,
to be a
hmm.
bad thing, but now it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, because we're just cussing. We're not, talking about porn.
Not real well, sometimes on these shows we have to talk about porn because, especially in 90 days,
It's
people are always gotten a porn addiction on 90 Day.
ew.
Yeah,
I mean,
2
porn's
people
okay,
currently.
but not to have a porn addiction is kind of gross.
It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross when you have a real
Yeah,
live girl in your house and you do the porn
have a porn
instead.
addiction.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
How dreadful.
How terrible. Um, let's talk about Love After Lockup, season 5D, episode 5, or season 5, episode 35. Just depends.
Which just pick what
Ju
you want. Pick what you
a
like.
actually, just make any number up because 'cause it'll apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
The name of this episode is True or False?
True, false,
True is false.
true lie. We call him true
True
lie.
lie. We're gonna have a lot to say about him. We're gonna save them for last. And they
Mhm.
did give us a mid-season trailer, which I will not
Mhm.
be recapping because when they do that, it's too much for me to type. I was trying to
Mhm.
get to the pool today, but that means we're gonna have 10 episodes, I think. Usually when they do that, that means they're right in the middle. So probably that means we got 5 more and then they're rolling into Life After. And I've seen some teasers for it, but I haven't paid attention because I'm
Mhm.
always fast forwarding the commercials.
Well, I can tell you the couples that I saw that are gonna be on there.
Okay, who?
Surprisingly, Melissa and Louis.
Okay, well, you figured they were gonna come back.
No, I thought they were done. We've got Mike and Justine.
Mhm.
Um, who is it? What was the girl's name last season? Real cute. Guy had all the cameras. Her name starts with the T. Teenley? Teeny?
The guy oh, Teeny, Tenny, Tenny,
Penny. They're gonna
Tenny.
be on there. Key Rock and Brittany are gonna be on there.
Okay, good.
Kimberly and Joey from this season are gonna be on there.
Okay,
And
he's
I
not back in
think
jail, that's good.
no, that's all that I have seen. Forgive me if I missed anyone.
Yeah, they have to scrape and try to find success stories to be on these shows, I think.
Yes. So it'll
Yeah.
be I just don't know where we go with Melissa and Louis at this point.
What are they gonna fight about? Her new nose being ridiculous? I mean, what are they gonna fight about?
I don't know. What else
Se
is there? We've
it
seen it all.
seems like they're doing alright.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see her
Yeah.
daughter. Maybe we'll see her daughter.
Well, I know her daughter just went off to college. They were on TikTok
Oh.
and they were taking her. So maybe she will make an appearance, you know.
Where
Maybe
did she
she's
go to
18 and she
where'd she
can
where'd she
say she
go?
wants to be on there. I can't now you know I don't can't remember.
I'm gonna guess Delaware. A
Let's
lot
just
of
go
Jer
with that.
a lot of Jersey girls go to Delaware. Okay, so let's start with, Kim and Joey. So, we wake up to a chaotic scene of the boys waking up. They're all in the bed together. Now, the
Mhm.
three-year-old Kyler is having a fit. What I tell every single
Yes.
person that ever has a baby is the terrible twos is not a thing. It is
It's
the threes.
threes. I say the same thing. I do not understand where the terrible twos. Three, they become thugs. Straight up
Horrible.
thugs.
Horrible.
Yes. Yes.
And this is a great example.
Mhm.
And he is just hitting his mom. He's furious.
Yep.
I didn't sleep very well. I've got this new inmate living in my house. I'm supposed to be calling
Smelling like
dad.
gel. Yeah,
Yeah.
this dude smells like gel and got woman hips and just it's really confusing.
And has
Real
an Amish
confusing.
hairdo. Yeah.
Yeah, someone said Abraham Lincoln too. And I was like, I can see it.
Mm.
Put a top hat on him. I can see it.
Yeah. Weird. So the other one, Kason, he's picking his nose.
Mhm. Yeah.
So they go out and they get all their Christmas gifts. And let me tell you something.
Mhm.
My kids always had a pretty nice Christmas.
Yes.
Whoa. This was a
Yeah.
lot for 2 kids. A lot.
I'm wondering because she told us last week how much she made,
Uh,
$15 an hour.
uh-huh.
So is she getting like a lot in child support? Because where's all this money coming from?
So she makes $600 a week. Is that 15 times 4 is 6. So that's $600 a
Not
week.
a lot. That's not a lot at all. And you've got 2 kids. We don't know if she owns the house or she's renting it or
Car payments,
whatever.
perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how she's doing it.
She's getting her toes done for free at Tatum's Toes. So she doesn't have that
Most
expense.
definitely. Yes,
Yeah.
most definitely. Yeah.
So it's a great Christmas for Kyler and Kason. And then she takes Joey outside and shows him his car. Now, this is her old car that she had refurbished by her dad. What
Mhm,
is
mhm.
happening here? Wow.
He did not just turn 16.
Mhm.
He did not graduate high school nor college. Why does he deserve a new vehicle with a bow on it? I've never even gotten a vehicle with a bow on it. This is insane. Why is he being rewarded?
I don't
Let
know.
him
And
get a job first.
she's like, "Go outside and don't look." I'm like, "How's he not gonna see this giant bowed up car?" Now, we know that this is like her old car that her dad repaired, but still
True.
it's a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what has he done to earn that?
And how does she have
Absolutely
2
nothing.
cars?
I don't know.
So,
But she
and
has an OnlyFans page.
anyway anyway, I didn't think he was excited as he should have been with somebody giving him a car. He was
Well,
like,
he was
"Wow."
complaining.
He was
He was
like,
like,
"Oh,
"It's the
it's"
same car as yours. It's
uh-huh.
almost the same color as yours." Well, you know what? Walk.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she reminds us that she put air tags in the car and his, gym bag, and she tells us that, if that car does things it's not supposed to do, he's not gonna be allowed to drive.
Okay,
Allowed?
mom.
Allowed? Okay. So, now they're inside, and he's texting, and she says, "Who you texting?" And he
Mhm.
says, "Nobody." And she says that makes her uncomfortable because in her past relationship, nobody was definitely somebody.
As is the case here, I believe, because if it were his mom, he would just say, "Oh, I'm texting my mom, Merry Christmas," or
Oh my God,
texting a
Keisha.
sibling or a cousin.
Last week when you said that mom had to get out of there because she had to go to a Christmas party, you were like, she was all dressed up. She was going to a Christmas party. She's like,
She
I'm
was.
not missing it this year. Mm-mm.
I'm glad you're here, but I got to get up out of here because it gets on and popping at this Christmas party. She did not have time. She's like, I will see you Christmas Day
That was so
after I
funny.
recover from the spiked eggnog.
She's like, I've been around Kyler in the morning. I got to go.
Yeah,
I got to
she was
go.
not
I've seen
having it.
how that demon child behaves. Um, so he changes clothes and he's like, I'm gonna run out for a minute. And she goes, Where? And he goes, Listen, just chill. I'll be back in a minute. He tells the kids, I'm going to be back in a minute. Now, I personally, the first thought is he's going to like get her a gift and maybe he had his mom buy her a gift and he's going to go over there. That was my first thought.
Well, you're real nice because I
I
didn't
know
think anything like that at all.
because there was a zillion presents there and none for her, you know? So I
Yeah,
was like, maybe
that's
he's going to
true.
get her something. And so we see him driving with the seatbelt first, like halfway hanging off. I was like, "You're gonna get
Mhm,
your
mhm.
arm cut off that way." And then we see him. We come back after the commercial, and he's smoking, and he says, "I have to drive around. It was too much in that house. It was hectic. It was chaotic. It was overwhelming. I love her. I love the boys, but I had to get away just to calm myself down." So I was like, "All right, maybe that's a
I
coping
can get
mechanism." Yeah.
that, but he also could have sat out on the front porch and done the same thing, kinda decompressed, or I don't know, told her where he was going, just saying, "I'm gonna go ride around."
I was just so excited. I got
Okay.
this new car. Give me like 20 minutes to drive around by myself. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I would be like, "Okay, okay, I get it. Alright."
In her talking head, she goes, I gave him a car an hour ago and he's already gone. He won't say where he went or what he's doing. And it's just me and the kids. And that's fine. I'm used to it, but I wasn't expecting this from him so soon. He has been out of prison like a day and a half. Let him drive around by himself
Yeah.
for a minute, but also expect the worst with this guy.
He's already
Um,
doing the most between
he
the
wants
phone calls and taking off.
I still think he's going to get her a present. So he says he wants to go see Tanner, his friend. I guess he wants to see him in the cemetery because he's looking at a graveyard. And
Mhm.
he says his friend died in 2001. He was racing his Mustang with his headlights off at night and hit a power pole.
What? W
Okay, that's
Hold
probably
on.
what's going to happen if you're doing that.
Why with the lights off? Like, why would you purposely not have the lights on?
Because it's cool to like race with your lights off, like, ooh, thrill seeker. Well, guess what happened? You hit a pole and you died, you dummy.
Mary Payne, I have all the lights on and glasses, and I still hit curves in the daylight.
Well, remind me when I come to visit you and not to get in the car with you.
I
Because
mean, you'll be safe. My rims just are always fucked up, but other than that, this is insane to me.
yeah.
I've never heard anything like this, and I've watched all the Fast and the Furious movies.
Um, and he says, I think I went down this bad road because I saw a lot of things I shouldn't have seen and I acted,
Mhm.
out. And when I was younger, selling drugs and having guns was glorified. Now we've met his mother. Now he came from a nice family. Now, where did he think that guns and drugs were glorified? Where did it was like
He
on TV?
I guess so, because he said he had a great childhood.
Yeah.
Like, he chose to live the thug life. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the safe life, Mary Payne.
I do
Like,
too. I do too.
nothing about the thug life, like, it scares me. It's scary. It's nice to see it on television, but I don't want it in real life at all. No.
I think that's why we're so afraid of like Louis from Real Housewives of Jersey. I think that's where
Oh
because he's
god.
trying to live that thug life, and we don't like that.
Do
I
we
don't want
do
that.
like anything about him at all? Just
Mm-mm,
mm-mm.
mm-mm. And so he shows the producer where he used to sell crack and how he learned. And he says the reason he wanted to get clean, excuse my yawn, sorry. He says the reason he wanted to get clean and change his life was because of Kimberly. And he knew he would not be
Okay.
able to have the life he wanted with Kimberly if he did not get clean. And he really hopes he's ready to be a family man, but it's a lot. Now, I would really expect if we were betting, I would not expect these 2 to stay together, and I would not expect him to stay clean. But if they're gonna be on the next season of Life After, then maybe they work it out.
Well, or we're gonna see things fall apart.
Right. Oh, I forgot about that. It
Mm-hmm.
could be
Mm-hmm.
that. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. We've seen it happen before.
Um, as we go, if you have any inside scoop, you let me know because I'm about to tell you some things that I found out about Christine. I sent it to you earlier today. Julian and
Yeah, I
Christine,
peeked on her page a
Facebook.
little bit. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, you guys, if you go to her Facebook page, and I just looked it up on Reddit, that's how I find it. It's like Chris Tyne,
Mhm.
Tinechris, Tyne. Wow. She looks like happy Betty Crocker homemaker, like probably
Mhm.
definitely going to a junior league meeting later.
Mhm.
Um, she doesn't have that weird jaw thing going on, but you can't there's not too many videos, just mostly photos.
Right. Yeah. Mhm.
Photos with her son
I saw.
in a
Yeah.
lot of the pictures, yeah, and Julian.
Mhm.
Um, So also I've spent way too many waking minutes, like we just discussed, me getting a new background for this thing that people won't see. I spent a lot of time on that, a lot of time on theme songs, and I spent a lot of time on trying to research this jaw situation that Christine has going on.
Okay,
'Cause,
so I saw a name for it, but I'm not gonna even
um,
try to pronounce it. It starts with a T.
tardive dyskinesia.
Yes.
Now, you've
Yeah.
seen ads for this drug on television. Like if you have TD, tardive dyskinesia, it's muscle movements that you can't control. Okay. But
Okay.
okay. So a lot of people on Reddit were going like, oh, I noticed that meth mount and I know this because blah, blah, blah. Another person said
Mhm.
that even when you're off it, you can still have it. But that's pretty rare from what
Okay.
my very, very deep Google research.
Mhm.
It's pretty rare for people to still have that. People do have sometimes as a lingering effect of, opioid abuse. They may have lockjaw
Okay.
or they may have, like, problems making saliva in their mouth, but
Okay.
not this swaying back and forth of your entire jawbone.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but TD is, uncontrollable movements also it's in your face, but it's also other parts of your body. So, I just okay. So Tardic tardic dyskinesia is a side effect of antipsychotic medications. So these drugs are used to treat schizophrenia and other mental health disorders. This causes
Okay.
stiff, jerky movements of your face and your body that you can't control. So because she's not jerking her body around so much and it's only in her jaw, I don't think this
Mhm.
is what's going on here. I think it has to be some remnant of her past meth use that
Mhm.
hasn't gone away, but it's pretty from what I read, for it to continue like that when you've been off drugs for that long is pretty so I don't know what's going on with her is the answer.
Well, I mean, the most that we've seen her do other than talking and the jaw moving is riding on top of Julian and you know,
And making
going to
that purr
Pound
sound.
Town.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I think we're gonna have to see a bit more of her to actually come with a diagnosis. A pink shade diagnosis.
A pink shade diagnosis is I almost feel like maybe at some point she'll address it and we'll be like, "Why didn't you tell us that episode 1 so we didn't have to talk about you for 5 episodes?"
She's probably one of those people's like, they won't notice. We
Oh
notice
my god.
immediately.
Yeah.
You don't know us. We notice everything. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that her jaw has been like a very long topic of conversation online. She
yeah.
needs to address it. We need
And
answers. We deserve answers.
we do, and I looked it up, I was like, "Surely somebody in here will be like, 'I'm a
Mhm.
doctor and I can tell you,'" but no, nobody knows.
No, no.
Alright, so they're waking up in the hotel, they banged it out 4 times. Okay,
Ugh,
great. He was like, "Oh, yeah, we really
ugh,
wore this headboard out." I was like, "I'm sure whoever else is staying in that hotel is thrilled." Um,
ugh,
she talks about how she doesn't wanna see her mother, but she does
mhm.
wanna see her son. And he tells us, I've talked a lot with her family. She does have a wonderful family, but some of the relationships are very strained. And I feel bad that she got out and nobody threw like a party for her or no one's happy for her.
It wasn't an engagement party. She got out of fucking prison.
I, what are you talking about through a party for her? They have been dealing with
Yes.
her for years.
Yeah, and taking care of her children. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really confused on why people think that someone getting out of prison is cause for a celebration and a new damn car.
Yeah.
Like,
I
have I
know.
been doing life wrong?
Yeah. Well, we find that out a lot on these programs that we've been doing things wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people are getting money bouquets, crowns, becoming royalty just because they got out of prison.
A lot of parking lot royalty on
Jeez.
the show. A lot.
Yes, there is.
So he says, "Listen, if you don't get along with your family, my family can be your family." And
Mhm.
then she says, "Have you told my family? Have you told your family about my past?" And he goes, "No, I'm kind of a secretive, private person." It's never good. Never good.
Well, okay, so
Never good.
to
Never good
me,
to admit you're a secretive person. Yeah.
well, okay, that is true. But to me, is it really necessary for his family to know that she was in prison?
Yeah, they're gonna wonder what is going on with her face. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to address the drug usage,
Right.
but
Uh-huh.
do we have to give like she was also a bank robber? Can we just do they
Well,
have to know that?
they could Google her, or they could say, "Why are these cameras following you around? What's the TV show you're filming?" Oh, it's got lockup
Mhm.
in the title. Who was locked up here? Oh.
Your son in the hotel bedroom.
Also, when he stole that stuff from Walmart. Um,
That's still crazy to me.
I know we got to get more information about that. Surely we'll, if we're going to see them on this next season, then we'll hear about it. Surely we will.
Well, they did like that mid-season trailer, and he's like, "I have a secret I haven't told you." I don't think he has a job.
Remember, his job is writing like steamy love novels or something.
I don't think he works.
And then what was his other job? His other job was marketing project manager. Yeah, me too. Marketing project manager.
Mhm.
It's just like
Mhm.
anything. Say anything. Anything.
Yes. Yes.
Um, okay. So then he says he's a private person. He doesn't tell his family things, but he wants them to get to know her first so they don't prejudge her. Okay.
That's a good
When they
idea.
I'm so
When it
sorry with the yawning today. It's really bad. I think it's because I went to the pool and I got some sun, and you know how that makes you tired?
She doesn't like me, guys. She
I
doesn't like
love you so
recording
much.
with me.
No, it's not
She's
true.
bored, she's tired of me, and she
Not
just can't help
true.
but to express it, you
And I
guys.
could never be tired of
Send
you.
me
Okay.
money for, like, therapy, guys.
Whatever. Um, and the talking head, she's like, "Yeah, it's concerning. He hasn't told
Stop!
anyone."
I'm done. I'm turning the camera off. I cannot watch you do this.
It's really bad. I'm sorry, but it's so distracting and upsetting. It's so upsetting. Somebody else said because she doesn't have a lot of teeth in the back, maybe that's the problem. I go, "Are you kidding me? 2/3 of these people on these shows don't have teeth in the back, and they don't do
And
that."
they don't do that, no. That person was really trying hard for Christine, and just it's not happening. No.
Did you
Mm-mm.
think she lost some teeth in the back? Her jaw unhinged itself and sliding side to side? We
You know
need
what she reminds me of?
we need information. Yes.
Like you get a skeleton head, like the
Yeah.
skeleton and that's kind of like how her jaw is if you can move it side to side. Bless her heart.
She obviously has some sort of medical problem that we don't know about. So until we know and feel guilty, then we'll just make fun of it. Okay.
That's how we
Um,
do it. Yeah.
that's how we roll.
Mhm.
So, she says, I worry that like he's going to regret, bringing me to his family, and maybe one day I'll lose him because they'll see this. But don't worry, on Facebook, y'all, she is planting tomatoes and going to museums and living her best Martha Stewart life.
I think she was
Um,
feeling insecure in this moment between that and then the kid and the mom thing.
yeah,
It was just a lot on her.
she doesn't mention those twins very much at all. Just those
I,
sons.
I don't. Hasn't seen them since like infancy.
I know it's bad.
Yeah.
Um, So Julia now has paid for Christine to get her hair done. It looks great. It looks really
Yes.
good, and she feels
Mhm.
good. And as when she's like, "There he is. There's my man." And as he walks in, the hair lady goes, "Here's your new lady." Ooh. I was
Oh
like,
my
these people are
gosh.
so fucking weird. She's
Corny.
Christine is corny and weird. And
Mhm.
remember, don't ever forget the
Mhm.
raw dog. Don't ever forget that.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it's the job might be the least of her problems. It's
To me, it is.
It's $195 to get her hair done, and, that's how much it costs, guys, to get your hair cut
Yeah.
and colored. It's expensive.
Mhm. And she needed it.
She needed it. She looks good.
Mhm.
So, Julian, because when you see those pictures of her before she got arrested and the ones currently on her Facebook, she is actually a beautiful lady.
She reminds me of someone, I cannot put my finger on it. Like everything's all good until she starts talking.
Right.
And sometimes she looks kind of wild, but when you see a picture of her, she's actually a nice looking girl.
Yeah. It's Allie Wentworth. I've already told you who it is. She looks like Allie Wentworth.
That's right. You did.
Yeah.
You did. You did.
So Julian says, "Now, how are you feeling? You could see your mom, you could see your oldest son." And I don't really understand what's happening. They're going to leave
Okay.
something on the door. They're going to try to see him,
Mhm.
but they have to leave town. Like they're
Mhm.
driving around. And I watched this twice and I still didn't quite get it.
I think the mom won't she won't talk to the mom, so she's just leaving her son a gift, and then they've gotta go back home. I'm sure she's gotta check in with probation.
Yeah, she's probably got to check in Maryland. So in the talking head, she says it took her 8 full years to slide into addiction. It started when she got a prescription for pain pills for scoliosis. And
Mm.
then when her kids were taken from her in 2 different court systems, It pushed her over the edge. She went from a suburban mom with a minivan to living in her grandmother's basement. So this to
Wow.
me sounds like something very typical you see where somebody gets pain pills for a back
Mhm.
problem
Yep.
and they get addicted to the pain pills and then they can't get
Yep.
any more because they're abusing them. So they have to
Yep.
turn to street drugs to replace it.
Tell us all this time.
But she was like suburban mom planting her garden with her, like her twins in her minivan, and then she's getting all her
Yeah.
kids taken from her. Um, her son was 6 when she went in, so she was gone from age 6 to 11. And now that she's going to be living in Annapolis, that's going to put her 5 hours away from her son, and her twins are all the way in Ohio. We forgot you had twins, but they live in Ohio.
And we don't even know the last time you've had contact with those children.
I know. I know.
Mm.
For her to get full custody of both of her children taken away, her mom to take custody of the older
Yeah.
son and the ex to take custody of these 2 kids, for her to have no contact, no visitation. The bank robbery, the drug addiction, all of it, this was a real bad fucked up scene. Real bad.
Well, she says she has joint custody of the girl. She's got a court order, but like
He
the
won't
ex
let her see
doesn't
them.
seem to care. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, but all she has to do is, I think we talked about this, call the sheriff's department and they'll come out there and he has to, if it's still current, up to date,
Yeah.
we don't know.
We don't know.
So, yeah. And she may not be telling us the whole truth.
Yeah, I think there's lots of things here we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So in the talking head, he says, I talk to her parents all the time, and they still see her as this drug addicted bank robber.
Okay.
But the parents can't see, when I say all the changes that she's made and how
Mm.
she's better now. They can't see it. Of course, they're completely traumatized by all
And
this. So of
why
course
are
they
you
can't.
talking to her parents?
He's like, her family is lovely. I was like, what?
Why are you talking to, like, that is like a common thing, like the last couple of weeks with people talking to the parents. Like, why?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
I agree. If they say don't talk to my family, then don't talk to them.
Don't talk to them. Mm-mm.
So she cries in the car and she's like, I can't see my son and I'm right here in town with him and it kills me. Like, why am I even here if I can't see him? I got to go hundreds of miles away from him. And he goes, babe, you're right. It's fucked. I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. She's been out of prison like 2 days. Like,
Right.
give it a minute to
Yeah.
prove yourself and then you can
Yes.
see your kids.
She
It's
doesn't
like,
think she has to, is the thing.
what's her
She doesn't
name
think she has
on
to.
Inmate to Roommate with the girl that lived with
Jennifer.
Jennifer. It's like her. She was like, I just want
Mm-hmm.
to see my kids. I was like, your mom has been dealing with your kids for years and
Yep.
you have to be out for more than a day to prove
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah, that's not enough time to prove that the children are, number one, safe being around you.
Right.
They never think like that for some odd reason.
Yeah. They're like, these are my kids. But I mean,
Yeah.
they haven't seen you in 6 years.
Yep.
They're whole different people now. They're whole different people
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go to Zeruiah. We call her Z.
It's not our fault, Mary Payne, because literally everyone in her life calls her something else. So
I say Zeruiah, but I think it's
yeah.
Zeruiah, like Mariah, but we're going to call her Z because we don't know.
And here's the thing with Z, we could be talking about her 12 sisters, or her one brother who always smiles all the time, because we saw all the Z's this episode.
We saw Zaire, we saw Zion, and we saw Zemema. I don't know what the brother's name is. I can't remember.
Zachariah.
No, it's not that normal.
Zakira.
Zakira.
It's kind of close. Yeah, I think it's Zakira. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Z and her sister Z are
Mhm.
waiting on Karen and Troy to arrive. Now, I did notice this week that funky necklace that she's got on. We were trying to figure out what it
Mhm.
said because we figured it said something like my king, my queen, my
Yes.
something.
Uh-huh.
It says Mrs. Jones.
Oh my God. Get the fuck out of here.
But why on that giant plate did it have to say Mrs. Jones? Why couldn't she just get one of those like Sex in the City ones that say Mrs. Jones?
Or how about just get an initial?
Yeah. Just
One
Z.
letter.
That'll count for your whole family.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone can wear it. Yeah.
So the mom Karen that we met last episode comes in and she's like, well, this place is nice. Place is nice. And I've decided that this is just a 2-bedroom place. It's her bedroom and her kid's bedroom because the
Yeah.
sister had to leave because mom is sleeping on the sister's couch.
So yeah, I'm like, okay, so the sister, no wonder why she's so uncomfortable with him being there is because she sleeps on the couch and it looks like they only have one restroom.
That's right. And that's fine for the 2 of
Ooh.
them and the kid, that's plenty of space.
Yeah,
But your
but no
sister
one
gets in
extra.
there, that's a lot.
Yeah. Hmm.
Also, I'm always looking to see if it's a Airbnb. I don't think she actually lives there full time. There's no personal effects in the whole place. I'm
Hmm.
always looking to see, and I didn't see anything personal. Like, there's no, like, paper towel holder or a
Oh,
lunchbox thrown on the counter or anything that would show that
you really look hard. I don't look that hard.
yeah, I'm always trying to figure this out. So, mom says, well, Z and I had our discussions back in Buffalo. And Z says, "Is it any better in Buffalo now?" And mom goes, "Well, he doesn't need to be there if that's what you're asking." And
Okay.
and she goes, "I mean, he still needs to see his daughter." And Karen says the ex, whose name is Yana, really gets on her nerves. She's a bitch. And,
Mm.
she goes Karen goes, "Well, at least I mean, she's a bitch, but okay, she's a good mother." And he goes, "Yeah, like, she kept my child safe for all these years, so, yeah,
Right.
let's don't bash on her too much, right?" And in the talking head, Z says, "Yana doesn't like me. I don't know why. I've never met this woman. I hope we can have a good relationship for the sake of the kids and stuff." Um,
This is again crazy. Like, I think there has been some contact between the two of them in
yeah,
some way, shape, or form, because how can she hate you so much? How can you know that she hates you so much?
right.
I mean, I wouldn't
Why?
put it past why?
Why would she hate you so much?
And why are y'all even communicating at this point?
Now
Like,
I gotta tell you, last week when you and Kimberly were talking about this, and we were
mhm,
talking about Troy being cellmates with Azael's
mhm,
dad,
and her ex-husband.
which was her ex-husband.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And you guys were saying Azael is out of prison. Azael's dad is out of prison. Bio dad. How
Yeah.
do you know that?
Uh-huh.
How do you know Azael's
Because
bio dad is out of prison?
she mentioned it in, I want to say, the first episode.
That he was out.
Yes, but he just still has nothing to do with the little boy, doesn't pay child support or anything like that.
Okay. See, I thought that she was still she was she had I thought she had Troy sign the agreement on the birth certificate
Mhm.
when he was still in prison with the baby's actual father.
Now, I don't
I
know
made
when
that
he
up in my
signed the
brain maybe.
paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when he signed the paperwork, but I'm like 98.9% sure that the dad is out. But let me
Okay.
ask you a question that I saw people talking about. During the first episode, did she say that she was adopted?
I don't think so.
I didn't either, but people on Reddit are saying she said that she's adopted because people were saying, she looks so different from the rest of her family. And they're like, yeah, she said that those are not her biological parents. I don't remember hearing that.
Well, let me tell you something. If she's adopted, all those kids are adopted. Because this will go along with my theory about the dad. That
Oh, see,
they
you tried to tap my hand when I mentioned that man being sassy in the first episode. He is sassy. But you could be a sassy man and still be heterosexual. I just
you
think he's sassy.
he's an opera singer and
Mhm.
he's in the arts and I
And he's
think
sassy.
and he's sassy and I think
Mhm.
he and the pastor and the bishop are married, and that's wonderful, and they
Mhm.
agreed to be married, and I think they adopted a bunch of kids. I don't think any sex was had.
So you think that she's his beard?
No, I think no, well, maybe. I mean, I think she's in on it. Yeah.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. They got these kids, they love them. They have a church where 6 people go to church. Okay.
Now, see,
So
that's what James said, and I had to correct him. I actually went into this is reality television. I'm like, everyone may not have wanted to be filmed,
mm,
James.
okay.
That's why there's so
Well,
little people in there.
we've never seen more than 7 people there, but we did get the name of the church, so somebody could just, like, look it up and let us know what kind of church it is and what kind of congregation they have and how big and all that. It did appear to be in a basement. Okay, and that's fine too. Listen, if you need to worship the Lord, you go wherever you need to go.
The Lord says, "Come as you are."
The Lord says, "Come as you are." Okay,
Mhm.
so I gotta pull my stuff over here, Kika. We might have to do some wig cord here in a second.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Yana's a bitch. She hadn't seen her in 7 years, blah, blah, blah. This is according to Karen. So Karen says to Troy, if I was you, I would not have fuck all to do with that bitch. How could she have my granddaughter around her new man, but she doesn't want her daughter to be around my son and his wife? Now,
Well, but
okay, well,
the
he was
little
in
girl
prison.
doesn't know. Yeah, she doesn't even know him. So
Right.
why would she be okay with sending her kid to go be with him, who's a stranger, and his new wife,
He's also
who
been out
married him
one
while
day.
he
He's
was in
also been
prison?
out one day.
Yeah.
One day. So Z and Z are in the dining room and they're like, why is she still talking about Yana? Ugh.
Yeah.
So they all sit
Mhm.
down to eat. And he's like, I'm so grateful to sit down for this meal with like family.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. But for some reason, Z has gotten all salty. And I'm like, did we miss 20 minutes? Like, why did she get all salty all of a sudden?
She got real petty and immature real quick.
Well, we don't know why. Because 30
Well,
minutes ago, they were
because
talking about Yana.
yeah, and Karen keeps talking about her, and it's just pissing her off more and more and more and more. Instead of just saying, "Hey, Troy's home. Let's sit down and have this great Chinese takeout food, and let's just do that." But no, she gets all,
Let's
acting
let's
immature.
let's remind her, Z, that it was Z's
Mhm.
idea to bring Karen around.
Now, how do you invite someone to your house who, when you went to their house, they kicked you out? That's
How do you
crazy.
how do you invite somebody to your house to sleep on your couch? Also,
No shit. Yeah,
yeah.
good point.
So, he goes into the bedroom to say, "Are you okay?" to Z, and she
Mhm.
says, "I'm all mad because of y'all keep talking about Yana." And he's like, "Well, what do you want me to do about that? I don't know why
Right.
she keeps talking about it." And so she basically kicks him out of the bedroom, and he says he's just learned with her, just when she's upset, just to give her some time, she'll get over it. And she says, "I just think there's these red flags, and I keep hearing the voice of my psychic, my North Star, who's telling me that Yana is still in love with him." It sounds like Yana has got a new man and is probably not worried about this dude who's been in prison.
Yeah, she probably just doesn't get along with Karen.
She probably just wants Karen, who is so extra. Who, by the
Yes,
way,
she is.
when they met at that train station, Karen seemed completely normal. She gets over to this
Well,
house and acts like a lunatic.
well, I think she probably took an edible for the train ride, and by the time she got to the house, the edible had worn off some.
Maybe so. It doesn't wear
Yeah.
off that fast.
Mhm.
I don't know what was happening with her, but
We didn't know how long
woo!
the train ride was. Yes,
What a
she
ride. What a
yeah.
ride.
Yes.
So, next morning, Troy says he slept okay on the couch and he's just going to give Z some space. And we see her going in and out of the bathroom.
The one
Now,
bathroom.
the one bathroom. In a talking head, he says, everybody wants my attention. It's only been 3 days. Like life is
Yeah.
already all over the place. It's stressful. So now he goes in to talk to his mom, who slept in her clothes on the couch with her giant hoops. And she tells him some very bad advice, which is, you need to remember that you're the man and everybody better pipe down and listen to what the fuck you have to say.
I mean, she's wrong, but also we watched Z give him a crown and
Eh,
made him the king.
I mean, okay. Now, here's where we got a question. Here we go.
Oh,
Okay, question about wig court. We got more wig court coming up, but this is my first wig court question.
okay.
Um, the bonnets. Okay. So we see
Honest. Okay.
when they wake up in the morning,
Okay.
Z is not wearing any kind of head wrap or bonnet. She walks in the bathroom.
Yes.
When she comes
Mm-hmm.
out of the bathroom, she's wrapped her hair up in a head wrap and gets back in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Now we see mom, Karen, wakes up on the couch with her bonnet. That
Mm-hmm.
seemed to make sense. But then we see
Mm-hmm.
Troy walking around in the den, and then he puts a head wrap on after he's woken up.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
What's
it?
wrong?
I don't understand. I thought that the point of the bonnet was like protect your hair while you sleep. So why did Troy and Z both put it on after they woke up?
So I thought when they showed this child with the Z name, I feel so bad. I cannot say her name. I
Z.
I assumed that it was edited weird. Like she really woke up with the bonnet on
Okay.
and they just did it her coming out of the bedroom first. That's who
Okay.
I took it. I
Okay.
think Troy put it on to keep his waves on his head before they went
Yeah.
to church. Yeah, so he was just probably walking around with his do-rag on.
But he put it on after he woke up. Wouldn't you want to sleep with it to protect his hair?
I think he did, and it may have fallen off. That's just what I'm assuming because they do fall off in the middle of the night. We all have had that happen to us a many a
Okay.
nights, depending on how
Okay.
you sleep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just couldn't figure that out. I was like, why is everybody putting it on afterwards? Is this bad editing? Are they trying to make
I
us
think it was
think that
bad editing.
he didn't sleep in that room, but he really did, or what?
I thought it was some wacky editing, and I really thought Whitcourt was going to be about Karen's edges or lack thereof. So,
No,
okay. I'm
Karen. No,
glad it was
Karen.
just about bonnets.
Karen is just full bald. Karen is like true.
She has
The
very thin
hairline
hair.
starts middle of the head.
I think she's got some really thin hair, and she should not wear braids because it's just going to make her hair come out even more.
And I think she's just pulling it out, pulling that
She
hair out.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sure someone has told her, I don't think you should wear braids, but it's Karen. Gonna do what she wants to do.
So Troy talks to Zeruiah, Z,
Mm.
and she
Mhm.
says, she goes, I know it was petty. I made you sleep on the couch, but I was upset about your mom continuing to talk about Yana. And he goes, I don't know what my mom's angle is. I have no idea. She is trying to be a better mom. She is trying to work on it. And by the way, you're the one that brought her here.
Your ass brought her here and decided to not get her a hotel room, but
Yeah.
instead have her stay here with us. So,
Right.
oh well,
So
deal with it.
And I'm committed to making this marriage work. Like, I don't want to fight with you. And she says she's sorry. Now Karen is getting ready for church and she is saying she needs a bag for her dirty clothes and that she has no
Okay.
panties and she's going to church with no panties. And if it wasn't Z's dad, she would be spreading it for the Lord.
Okay, where are her panties? Did she forget to pack her panties? Is there not a Walmart or a Target nearby where someone can go and get this woman some panties while
Could
she's wearing this
she
dress?
could she have washed her panties in the sink and then dried them with a hair dryer or thrown them in the microwave or if a clothes dryer?
There's
Something.
so many options here that
Yeah.
she's just choosing not to take. She's just gonna, use her coochie spray and carry on with her day. You know.
She says she's going to let the Holy Ghost put some air up in her coochie, but let me find my coochie spray. And then she says she took 3 gummies before church. Or maybe she said
Wow.
2, or maybe she
She
said
said
2.
2, but even that was doing a lot. I'm like, okay,
She
maybe
says
she's
she
someone who uses them all day, every day, and she'll be cool. Me on 2 gummies going somewhere, we don't know what's going to happen.
she said she takes 4 a day. So in my mind, you would spread those 4 out. But she went ahead and just
Okay.
took 2 at once. And
Yeah.
she says it's fine. It's going to be fine. Now they're headed to church with baked mom in the back seat. And
With no panties on, just coochie spray and ready to praise the Lord.
ready to spread it for the Lord. So she
Yes, she
says,
is.
she's like, "What kind of church is this in the first place?" And she says, "Well, it's a Baptist church. My dad, the music is very lively. My father used to sing in the opera." And I was like,
Mhm.
mm. But mom in the backseat goes, "A black opera singer. Woo! Heard everything now." And they're like, "Okay,
Well, I
okay."
mean, you don't hear that every day. You know what I mean? And you sure
There are a lot of
every day.
black opera singers. There are.
I've only heard like a few, but you don't meet one every day. This
Well,
is
no, you don't. No, well,
exciting.
no, you don't meet one every day.
Yeah, this is exciting. And
I gotta
I
tell
don't
you,
think that her dad is a
John and Anna's music teacher at the school, Miss Davis. She's this black opera singer. Yeah,
well, look at that.
yeah. The lady that
Huh,
sang during the Olympics in Paris was on top of that building. She's a
sure.
black opera
Yeah.
singer.
So that's 3.
Well, there are a lot of black opera. I'm just saying it's not so unusual, but I think you're right that you don't meet one very often. Yeah.
And when I heard him sing, I didn't feel like he was that great of a singer.
Well, maybe he's great at opera.
Okay.
So then Troy is saying when he was younger, he went to church. He went to 3 different churches. And then mom
Mhm.
starts laughing hysterically about his dad taking him to
Ugh.
church because she says his dad had him walk him down the aisle. And Troy thought, we're going to church. But then he married that woman. Now that's funny. If little Troy
Well,
was like, I'm walking up the aisle because I'm just going to sit. But instead, my dad got married.
yeah, to a woman while he was still screwing Karen, and
Yeah.
Karen was pregnant.
Karen said he was still screwing me because I was pregnant with somebody, Vaughn, I think she said. And
So was that Troy's dad's baby?
I don't know. I guess
Karen is
so.
a fucking hoot.
He goes, "Okay, mom. All right, mom.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
it's
real
enough."
patient.
Too much information, Mom. Like, I didn't even want to talk to you. And now you're out here talking about your coochie and being pregnant and black opera singers. And then she yells as they're driving, this church is in the hood.
It
And
kind of was.
they go, Mom, please stop. They said, you've got to be good. She goes, why are y'all always acting like I'm the asshole?
As she's walking into church, literally, she's in the church. She just crossed the threshold. It says asshole. If that ain't me after an edible, I don't know. Because to me, Karen was the most entertaining thing by far on this episode.
It was pretty funny. Now, he is a pastor of the Victory Temple Fellowship Church. You guys, that church is located in Syracuse, New York. So, because people please look up the Victory Temple Fellowship Church in Syracuse. Okay.
I hope someone goes to that church. Who's a listener?
I do too. The music does look fun. So we get the church service, and there are as many people there that were at Ben and Nicole's wedding at Love is Blind UK. There are exactly 7 people at church.
They could all fit at one table.
Yeah. And we see another sister named Zaire we had never seen before. At least Zaire, we can pronounce that. Yeah.
Yes.
Dad does the sermon, and Mom said he's talking about the prodigal son, it seems like. And Mom Karen is high shit, laughing her ass off. She cannot get over the church service, the sermon. She is laughing. She is like elbowing her grandson. I love the grandson was like, yeah, Mama Karen, she's just real funny.
Even Troy is laughing at her at this point.
Yeah, it's bad. It's very disrespectful.
There's nothing anyone can do about it. She got to ride that wave all the way through. Like, she just gotta. She said that she thinks that Z's dad is like a comedian.
She thinks he's hilarious.
I would love to know what she thought about the mom's outfit.
Oh yeah, Marge
the
Simpson.
Hat wear.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Then she yells. She's in the front row. She goes, "Your dad is funny. I mean, he's a little on the ghetto side." And she's like, "Oh my God!" And at this point, Troy's like, "What can you do?"
There's nothing you can do other than make her leave. Then that's going to be a whole scene right there.
We do see that next week on one of those clips that she says, "This is why I don't go to church. They try to hold you hostage."
Well, look how they're trying to do poor Troy. They're like, "Oh, we want him to come to church so that he can become a deacon." Like,
he's like,
that is not what he wants to do.
Look around to some of these other 7 people that are here. Somebody else could do it.
And here's my thing. What about your daughter, the criminal? Like, stop worried about Troy. Worry about her a little bit. She needs to be carried around the holy water for everyone to dip a finger in. Like,
she needs to use some of that tattoo money, pay back her retribution to society.
Can you imagine when her parents saw that scene of that tattoo on her?
I keep wondering when we're going to see it again, because I think I might need to see it again.
I never need to see that. That looked like a whole inflamed something on her body. It looked horrible.
Let's move on to Hope and Arthur. So
Arthur.
You can't help it. You can't help yourself.
I can't help it. I just can't. Arthur.
So he is eating outside. They're having ice cream with his mom. And I'm not going to take her to Wig Corp. We've already talked about it. But
this was such a touching scene that I
can't say anything bad.
I can't even. It was so, I could say something bad, but I'm choosing not to, because this is one of the most touching scenes that we've had in Lalu history.
It is. And my husband did walk by the TV and go, "Oh, there's that guy you talked about with the triangle tattoo on his head." I go, "Yeah, there's only one. That's him."
You know, someone actually tagged me. They're like, "Keisha, what? I need something about this woman's head." And I'm like, maybe if she got a food pyramid on her forehead, it wouldn't look as big. She just needs things.
She just needs to scooch that wig a little forward. It would be okay. I listen. I can't listen. This was very touching, and I can't say anything bad about her.
Yes, it's very touching.
And okay, so she says, he's like, "Why didn't you come visit me very much? Like the first time I was in prison, you came like twice a year, and then like once a year, and then you didn't come." And she goes, "Well, when you went back, I was like, I can't come as much. I can't do this as much. Like you're in Dallas and I'm in Vegas." And so also
with
she
other
works
siblings.
Other siblings. And she tells him, before you went to prison, you were wilding out. You in 17, and he was 17 when he first went to jail.
Mhm.
And his mom starts to say, maybe if I didn't work so much, then maybe you wouldn't have taken to the streets. But I had to work sometimes 18 hours a day,
Yeah.
and you guys just had to fend for yourselves. And
Right.
he says, yeah, you were gone a lot, but I understand you were a single mom and
Yeah.
you were trying to provide for your kids. And all
Mhm.
the bad decisions I made myself. They had nothing to do
Yeah.
with you. You were doing your best. And she says, well,
Accountability.
I liked that he didn't say, yeah,
Yes.
mom, I didn't have a mom. So that's why I did that.
Yes.
Um, and she says she really blames herself. And he says, please don't. I feel horrible to think you would ever blame yourself for my bad
Mhm.
decisions. He cries about the day he got locked up because she said, you got to come home and do laundry. And he didn't.
I
He says, if
know.
I would have just come home that day and done my laundry and listened to my mother, maybe I would have never been locked up. Well, I think you would have been
Oh
locked up
boy.
again for something else,
Just not
but
that day. Not that
not that
day.
day.
Not
Yeah.
that day. No. The following week, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's talking to Eddie cries and he says, I didn't realize how much time went by when I was in prison for 10 years. Like my mom has gotten so much older and my
Yeah.
sister just went to her prom. Like
Yeah.
she probably was 8 when he left,
I
you know?
know. She
And
doesn't even know him.
not at
Mm-mm.
all. And she tells him, you don't have much tying you down here in Dallas, and I really want you to come to Vegas and be with your family. And mom says she really doesn't trust Hope. And he says, I'm not going to let anything going on with me and Hope put me back in jail.
Well, that didn't age well.
No, that didn't.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Because
Not at
he is
all.
back in jail because Hope pulled a gun on him and then he
Yeah.
shot himself in the foot with Hope's gun. Is that what happened?
Well, she tried to shoot him for leaving, and then she shot herself, and then told the police that he actually shot her,
Shot
and he
her.
got arrested. But then
Okay.
supposedly she went back and said, she did it. So I guess he's still trying to get out of jail. I saw he posted a GoFundMe.
Well, I think you can say definitively now you don't need to go back to Hope and you need to go back to Vegas and be with your sweet mother.
Absolutely. If only
Absolutely.
he'd listened.
Um, and so in the talking head, he says, I'm really torn, but I need to be a man and stay with Hope. Like I said, I would. I think you can be a
Okay.
man and go back and support your family.
Yeah.
Um, the talking head mom says, I don't feel confident leaving him here with that girl. And now he walks
Mother's
into the
intuition.
totally. And now he
Hmm.
walks back in and he's like, hey, what's up? And she goes, don't what's up with me, baby. It's 12 p.m. I cooked food. It's 12 a.m. I cooked food for you. Like I cooked food that you wanted. And he goes, yeah, I'm sorry. I just ended up talking to my mom. She's like, oh, I hope you had a great time talking to your mom. Like if you come home in the middle of the night, I'm going to assume you're doing something wrong. I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with you just coming in and me not knowing where you are. Now she's got a point.
She's got what is with these guys getting out of prison, getting a cell phone,
Yeah.
and they leave the house and they can't just text and say, hey, I'm with my mom eating Texas pecan ice cream. Be
Yeah.
back later. Hey, I went and drove by my friend's grave at the cemetery. Be right back.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm at the gym working out. What the fuck is wrong with that? We people do that all the time.
And just
Just
also
stay where you are.
just like drop a pin, show somebody your location, you know?
They probably know how to drop a pin. I don't even know how to drop a pin, Mary Kay.
Well, it's just when you share your location. Share a location.
Yeah, just what's with the text?
I don't know. I
Be
don't know.
back soon. BRB.
Let's go to LaTisha and Keith. So we're
Ciao.
never going to see Keith, by the way. We're never
Well,
going to see Keith.
wait. Keith or Keith?
We're never going to see Keith or Keith.
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 Keith. Keith.
So I still stand by LaTisha as a really well dressed, beautiful woman.
Okay, well, we can have a difference of opinions on that.
Okay. So she goes to the paralegal Ben's office. Now, why
Mhm.
nobody is addressing the fact that she is trusting a paralegal to handle her? Okay. So she goes to the
When she
paralegal
could
Ben's
just
office.
sell her ring and hire an attorney.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ben had a real bad underbite, and it was hard for me to look at that.
So wait, was it an underbite or lack of teeth on top?
I think he had teeth. Well, I don't know now.
I don't know.
But I think he had an underbite. It was
Because
bothering me.
he's gonna get Keith out.
Keith.
Keith. Yeah.
Well, she goes to his office and she says the public defender's office said they see nothing saying Keith is going to be released. So like, what's going on here? And he says, well, I'm working on this. And he's just shuffling some papers around. It says real important, like, and she says, and I just found out you were in federal prison. Now, I'm not one to judge, but it seems like you could have told us that. And he says, I didn't think that was relevant.
And it's not.
But he says, I learned how to do this in prison to help people. Now, actually, I think that's a plus. I think if she said, I've been in prison and I taught myself how to help people. I got my degree to be a paralegal because I was in prison and because I saw that people needed help. That actually would have been a plus on his side.
Well, if he were talking to you, but he's talking to Joanne, the scammer over here, whose husband is in prison under drug charges. I don't think he needs to tell them a goddamn thing.
Why did you call her Joanne the scammer?
You don't know Joanne the scammer?
What's that mean?
We'll talk. It's a character that was on Instagram, Joanne the scam. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And LaTisha scams people out of their money.
But what I want to know about Joanne the scammer now? Is this something I need to go look up?
Yeah, you should look. Yes. When we get done, go look up Joanne the scammer. Yeah, it's this guy dressed in like a raggedy wig. He scams people. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to go look up Joanne.
Okay.
Last week it was a Demure that I'm like, you got to go look this up. This week you got to go look up Joanne. Yes.
God, I wish every day. I used to allow myself like 1 hour at night to look at TikTok, but I've not had time to do that. I've not been able to look at TikTok. Like you all the time.
That's how I go
like,
to sleep.
Keisha tagged you in something. I'm like, well, I'm never going to be able to figure that out. Where is it? Okay. So, all right. Federal prison. So he says the public defenders are overworked and underpaid, and I get the results because I make sure everything is meritorious.
Girl.
And he shows her a corrected brief that will be approved by a judge. And he tells her, me being, that Keith being in jail is illegal and he is subject to immediate expungement if he goes through everything with a fine handled comb.
Girl, I've heard of a fine tooth comb. I've heard of a bristle brush. That's what this was like. He said it with his chest too. He said it with confidence.
So, Ben, here's what I'm gonna tell you. The term fine tooth comb means you really raked through something and really tried to get all the tangles out. A fine handled comb just means it's like a pretty comb to look at. It doesn't help you get the knots out. Okay,
she should have known right then he ain't shit. But that's some shit she would say.
Oh my God. So funny. And this motion that he's filing cannot be rejected by any federal judge. And the public pretender made a joke, Ben. We got it. The public pretender is out of the way now, and Ben is a fighter, and he'll do whatever it takes to get Keith home. What are you laughing at? Public pretender?
Yes. I'm laughing at all the fucked up shit he said.
The fine handled comb was the best.
No, I didn't. Well, he was immediately followed by the public pretender. What the fuck is wrong with this man? Like, he doesn't even need to grade like a kindergarten paper, let alone do like a case. Like,
oh my God.
Stop.
Now I'm laughing because you're laughing.
I did not stop laughing because I knew you were going. I knew when I saw it, I said, "Oh, Mary Payne's gonna repeat all that shit."
That Ben just like let me shuffle. Let me shuffle my papers around to show you how busy I am. He was rearranging those papers on his desk, and he wanted you to know.
Oh my
God.
God.
A fine handled comb, and I'll fight for your rights. He was. You gotta quit laughing.
I can't because it's so funny.
Ben.
Okay. I got this up under control. Okay.
All right. You got to get under control because we got to take somebody to wig court. Here we go.
Oh.
Hear ye, hear ye. Wig court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Keisha presiding.
All right. Wig court is now in session. You and your wigs may now be seated.
All right, we got to go to wig court because
Okay. Who is it? I can't remember.
LaTisha goes to meet with her friend Nikki.
Oh.
Nikki is an offender in wig court. Do you not remember what Nikki looked like?
I do. I'm trying to remember how bad her hair was.
Well,
I don't remember it being bad.
Well, she had this blonde braid situation.
Yeah.
Then she had them all looped up over to one side. And then had another side that was like hanging free like crazy.
Yeah.
And the color was terrible.
Well, again, I have to remind you, I watch things on Zeus. So this is not new to me.
Okay.
It's like, because I was really trying to think, I was like, who?
Now she was very nice and very a smart and supportive friend, but I did not enjoy what was happening.
There was a lot going on.
Okay.
A lot going on.
All right. So Nikki is there. And did you also notice that Nikki was holding her plate up right under her mouth and shoveling her food in?
She didn't want to take a chance of dropping anything on that white shirt from Shein.
I was like, girl, put the plate down. The food will still make it to your mouth. I promise.
This may have been her first time eating in a very fancy restaurant.
I don't think so. She didn't seem like she was just like, I don't know. So anyway, we see LaTisha's talking to Nikki and she's saying, her poor daughter is crying about Keith coming home. And she's like, yeah, now Zeruiah, that's the older daughter.
Yeah.
She's thrilled. She's thrilled.
Oh, God. She's smiling every day when she wakes up. She's like, singing Walking on Sunshine every day she wakes up about this.
This is the best news she's ever heard. But meanwhile, the little girl whose name I can't remember is so cute. And we don't want her to cry because she's cute, even though Tisha never takes her to school. So
no.
Tisha says, I should have never told his family and my friends and the kids and everybody if I knew this would happen, because now everybody's got their hopes up. Yep. And now I need a real attorney, not Ben the Paralegal, because I think Ben the Paralegal screwed this all up. But, I've spent so much time and money on this stuff trying to get him out and put money on his books, that money is tight and my business is suffering. And the producer says, so what's going on with your business? And she goes, let me get a sip. Can we cut now? Because I don't want to talk about this.
I bet she doesn't.
She's super upset. She feels like a failure. She's embarrassed and she's scared. So,
and I would feel sorry for her if she were not a scammer.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, it's not good. She's not getting kicked out of her house because she didn't pay her rent or whatever. It's a lot of her problems are because she's scammed people with her tax business.
And then doing these PP loans. Yeah, something new was she got a loan in this name, and then a month or two later got another one in this name. She does everything but work.
Wow, she's working.
Well, she refuses to sell that fucking ring, though. That's the first thing I would have done. Well, I'm sorry, I would have never bought a $15,000 ring.
I would go to Kohl's, to the ring department, and find one that looked exactly like it for $50, and then sell that one, and he'll never know the difference.
Never know. The only person who would know is you.
That's right. Because you had the real one, so everybody would still think that was the same one.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's move on to our last couple who we'll finish with is Shontae and True.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Mary Payne,
I heard y'all last week. And you were predicting.
What did we say?
You predicting that this girl that came in was going to be a white girl, but she wasn't.
And she also wasn't that much better than Shontae.
No.
She really wasn't. I was expecting to really see something.
Well, he's at the gym with his sister, Angelique, who sometimes now we're calling Angie for some reason. And this mystery girl walks in. Her name, she says, my name is Tisha, but I prefer to be called Shontae. Now, what?
So it could be a couple of things. It could be that her first name or middle name is Shontae, and people call her Shontae.
Okay.
That's what we're going to go with right there.
Okay. But then why did she even say, my name is Tisha, but I prefer to be called Shontae? Why didn't she just say, my name is Shontae?
I just,
Okay. And also, what are the chances that he's going to be hooking up with two bitches named Shontae?
Well, it makes it easy for him.
Well, that's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah. Now, the main Shontae is spelled Shonta, and this Shontae is Shonta with an E. Okay. All right. So, in the talking head, she says, oh yeah, this is my first time meeting him in person. Yeah, he's definitely fuckable. I mean, she has come in
God.
ready. She's ready.
Yeah.
Talking head, he goes, yeah, she's cool. She's cool. But when I was talking to her before, she had something going on with her ex, and then she just like ghosted me. So, I mean, if she did it once, she'll do it again.
True was making too much sense in this episode. I almost didn't like it. I agree with a lot of things that he said.
I did too. Until the end, and then I didn't agree with that.
That one last scene, he fucked it all up.
Yeah, I was agree with him too. So he says to Tisha Shontae, he says, "Are you just trying to be friends or what?" And she says, "Well, I don't know. Hopefully it'll go past that." I mean, this has been within 4 minutes of meeting this girl.
She just wants to smash and dash.
Yeah, she does. She just wants to smash. He goes, well, I'm not that dude because I'm currently in a relationship and this girl rolled it out with me for 2 years and I love her. But, I'm still in this whole like, I can't even believe it mode of being out. And Tisha Shontae says, someone who loves you while you're caged in might not love you when you get out. It might be a different energy, like your personality might not be attractive to her. And if you want to stick around and figure it out, go ahead. But I'm still going to be your friend. And now, where do you think she got all of a sudden, like, this girl is not going to be attracted to your personality? Like, what a bitchy thing to say.
I think she's been talking to Angelique, and who is working out in in slow-mo, like how Keisha works out, because she's like, she
was. I noticed her in the background going, I don't want to break a sweat.
Exactly. I'm like, she works out about how I work out if I worked out. Yeah. I was like, that is some slow motion over there. So I think she's been listening to her, and because his sister fucking hates Shontae.
Hates
her.
For no reason, by the way. For no reason.
None.
So then she says, look at me. I'm here to apologize. What are you running from? You should run into me. I'm the type of bitch who will hold an umbrella over you when it rains. I just gave up on you when it poured, but I apologize and I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Are you writing poetry in the gym?
She doesn't. You know what she's doing? She's doing the equivalent of prison poetry is what she's doing over there.
What are you talking about?
She's talking about. And none of it even makes any kind of sense at all. None.
Don't run away from me, run into me. I've got your umbrella. Like, he's just trying to lift the dumbbells. What are you talking about?
And from his reaction, it's not turning him on.
No, he's like, okay, weirdo.
Yeah.
And the talking head, he says, Tisha, she's ambitious. She's just going after what she wants. That's just who she is. She's kind of off the chain. Like, she's a little weird.
Yeah.
Then she tells him, I've got bad bitch energy. I'm very fun. And I know you can dress and I can dress and we can dress each other. What are you talking about? She's grabbing all over him.
Yeah. It was kind of disgusting in a way. I'm like, woman, like, have some kind of pride. Like, it's not, he's literally pushing her away. He's backing away from her. Like, he doesn't.
And Angelique is like in slow-mo over on the thing, like looking back, like, how fun, how fun.
She's a mess.
She's a mess. And then she says, I will be very respectful of your situation, but if you need me, you can call me at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I'm going to give you some of that P word.
Oh my God.
And then Angelique laughs at that too.
That is not cute at all. Like, this boy still has
gosh.
prison on his skin, and you're just trying to give it up. And you know he's engaged to someone else. But Angelique has probably told this girl that Shontae's not very attractive, how she's boring, and she just, for some odd reason, doesn't want True to be with Shontae, which is fucked up considering the fact that she's really held him down more so than his family has for 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, True, I feel like is so excited to have a mirror in that gym that he can't even look away from himself. He's just like, I got to pump these weights. I need this girl to back up. Quit touching me.
Yeah, this is like the most exciting thing that has happened to him other than like that first burger that he had.
Yeah, he's so excited about that mirror. So in the talking head, Angelique goes, yeah, I think he liked that because that other one, Shontae, she's a little boring.
Okay, so did you see where People are talking about how boring Shontae is, how she's always in the bed, and how she did something weird with her mouth. I can't remember what it was. And she's like, well, I have lupus, and I was having a lupus flare-up. That's why I was kind of like laying
Oh.
around and all that kind of. Now, I don't
Oh.
know if that's true or not,
Mhm.
but that's just what people have been saying on the Reddit. So, you know.
Okay, well then she should lay around then if she's got lupus and she was having a flare up.
Yeah, but I also think she's boring.
Okay. I just want her to get rid of those glasses
Clean them. Let's just clean them first.
and just
Can
like
we
put on
start there?
put on a little mascara. That's all I want.
I just want her to clean the glasses. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know how she can't see through True's lies because her glasses are so damn dirty. You know? It's like, just clean them a little bit. Like, you know.
Bless her heart.
Yes.
So back at Shontae and True's rental that she can't afford,
Mhm.
she says, I'm hurt. I'm sad. He's been gone all day. And she is wearing a tank top that says, let me be your fantasy.
All while she's about to get broken up with.
So he comes in and he's like, hey, what's going on? You mad? And she goes, you left me here all day by myself. And I thought we were going to spend time together and I got to go back. And he goes, oh, you're going back to Independence? She goes, yeah, I'm going back. And I got to go back today. And he goes, well, I just went to the gym with my sister and I went to lunch with my sister. And she says, okay, so when I leave here, what does that mean for us? Like, we have not had
Right.
one smooth day. And he goes,
They haven't.
oh, and he goes, I think everything's fine. Everything's been okay for me. And she goes, right, because you've been doing what you want to do and going and hanging out with your family. I've been stuck in this Airbnb. I don't know anybody here.
Yep.
So in the talking head, he says, when I was locked up, she was out here experiencing life. And now that I'm out, she just expects me to be a good angel to her and not experience life and like settle down or something.
Well, no, she's actually just said, can we go out to eat? Or even if we don't go out to eat, when you're going out to eat, can you bring me home something as well? Because he never brings her home anything.
When he says she expects me to settle down or something, yeah, true. That's what happens when you're engaged
When you're
to someone.
engaged. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she
Yeah.
does want you to settle down or something.
Yep.
So he goes back out to the den to talk to her and he goes, listen, I don't want you to think I used you because I didn't. But after coming out and seeing how things are going, I'm not feeling it. Like, I like to be outside. I like to do fun shit, but you're not trying to do that. And she
Mhm.
stands up and goes, I don't care. Okay. Like, she's just like, you've called me boring like one too many times. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So she stands up and goes in a room and is starting to pack. And she's like, I don't care. And he goes, hey, look, here's $1,000 for all the clothes and stuff. And she says, no, I'm not taking it. He puts it in her bag
Shit. I would
and
have took it.
I would have took it too. Because
No questions
she
asked.
spent more than that on him.
Way more than that. Yep.
So he puts it in her bag and he tells us that he had saved that money to get a car, but he's going to give it to her. Okay, you should.
You should.
So she goes in the bathroom and she's like bawling, crying.
I know. Oh, man.
So now he goes to talk to her in the bathroom. And again, I watched it twice, but I couldn't quite get this part. He
Okay.
says to her, I feel like you tricked me. You did all this shit to make me feel obligated to you. And now that I'm out and I see that you ain't what I thought, that's the whole reason you didn't want to come and visit me because you thought you might not like me. Now, what is he saying? I'm confused because I wrote this down verbatim. He says the whole reason you probably didn't come to visit because you thought you might not like me.
I think he meant the opposite.
That I might not like you.
Yeah. Yes. I think you have to remember this is True talking. So yeah. And he's not entirely wrong.
Right.
She
Right.
kind of did catfish him, especially personality wise. You know what I mean? Like, you can be on the phone and say, hey, yeah, I just got back from the club, knowing damn well you didn't go to the club. I think she made herself seem way more exciting than what she really is. She's a homebody.
But you can't talk to somebody on the phone all the time like that and then have them think you're going out all the time because they're talking to you on the phone all the time. And if you're talking on the phone all the time, you got to have some kind of personality.
Well, I think you can easily fake a personality on the phone more so than you can if you're face to face with that person on a visit.
I don't know. I
I
mean,
kind of get,
he liked her on the phone,
yeah, but face to face, they don't go. Well, I mean, I guess it worked out because they're still together. So something works.
Crazy.
Something, yeah.
So when he says that, like, oh, you thought maybe, I wouldn't like you in person. And now that I'm out and I'm seeing you,
Mhm.
you know, so she's just like, basically like, fuck off. Don't say that to
Right.
me, you know? So she's like, move out. She goes, what do you want me to say? Move out of the way, move.
Right.
So she says, she's crying and she goes, I'm going back home to a new house I bought for us, which I don't think that's true. I think we discovered she didn't own these homes.
It's a rental
It's a
that
rental.
she got evicted from, and yeah.
And she has no job because, of course, she got fired because of him or demoted.
Mhm.
And she feels stupid. And now she knows she should have listened to everyone. But you still have that sweet, sweet Matt Sharp money. So you're doing all right.
Yes.
Um, so he's following her out to the car. And she goes, stop talking to me. You know what it reminded me of?
What?
It reminded me of Freddie and Catherine. Don't hug me.
Don't hug me. Yeah.
Don't hug me.
Yeah.
And she says, stop talking to me. And he's just like, well, listen, I got to, she's like, talk to the
Yeah.
hand.
She
And he
done.
said, and then he says something real stupid. He says, you don't feel like you used me for real?
Oh,
And
boy.
she goes, what are you talking about? She gets in the car and she goes, okay, what did I use you for? And he goes, for my time. She goes, for your time.
You have nothing
You
but time.
nothing but time. And
Yeah.
he goes, for my time to build you up and to give you love. And she says, I loved you and that's my problem. He goes, oh, so now you don't love me anymore? What? And she goes, shut the door. Just shut the door. Just get
Yeah.
out of my face. So he shuts the
She's
door.
done.
And he's standing outside and he goes, she played me. She played with my paper, man. What do you
Well,
mean?
you
Because she took the
gave her
money?
the paper. Yeah, you put it in her bag after she threw it on the bed,
Yeah.
which is hilarious to me. Every time we see them, they're in another bedroom
So many
in an
bedrooms in that house.
Airbnb.
Yeah. So many
Yeah,
bedrooms.
yeah, she played me for my paper. What?
Played with my paper. And
Mm-mm.
then he goes inside and calls his sister and goes, guess what? I broke up with Shontae. And
Yeah.
sister says, she's gone. He goes, she gone. And then talking head, he says, you know, when I saw Tisha, it made me question my relationship because Shorty's cool. So I thought about that. And, you know, I always knew there's other women out there in the world, but,
Mhm.
you know, I was engaged to Shontae and we were working on things. So I don't know. And then Angelique says, hey, True, fuck her.
I don't know where the hate is coming from.
Excuse me, ma'am. That is awful. That was terrible.
It was very, so someone had a theory, which is really stupid theory. They're
Yeah.
like, that's not really his sister. That's really her
Like a
baby daddy.
girlfriend.
I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, they look alike. They all look like the mom.
Well, they were with the mom. Do you think mom's in on this too? I don't
No,
think
I think
so.
that's the stupidest thing ever. It's like, what, huh? But yeah, that's one of the theories out there. It's like, I don't think that's true.
Now we see poor Shontae is bawling, crying,
Mhm.
calling her
Yeah.
brother Benny. It was like, oh, you were right, dude. I should have
Yeah.
listened. And she's really, really crying. And like the cameraman's like Blair Witch Project,
Yeah.
like
trying to
running
catch
up to the car trying to
Yeah.
get it. Yeah. Oh gosh. It
That
was
was
too
sad.
much. It was too much.
Yeah.
Now there's a mid-season trailer, too much to type.
Mhm.
I don't know what happens, but so I think we have about 5 more episodes and then we're going to flip to the new season and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
It's
Hey,
getting
for speaking,
juicy.
Michael and Justine, do we think they had a second baby?
So this woman on Reddit had taken a picture with them,
Uh-huh.
and it did look like Justine was pregnant, and
Mm.
she said that Justine said she was due in July. So I don't know,
Surely she didn't back to back have babies.
but like they haven't been posting like a lot of body pictures of them on their Instagram, so I don't know.
So she had the 3 and he had 4. So that's 7
Mhm.
plus their 1 was 8. So if they have another one, that's 9.
That is too many. Somebody got to get love somewhere else. Like
Um,
6 of y'all got to go live somewhere else. This is just too many.
they're all
Can't do
living
it.
in that house in Vegas, I guess. And then, oh
I
my
know.
gosh, is he still selling those tennis shoes? He's trying to be a rapper? What's happening?
I know that his mom at one point, I don't know if she still is, was living with them in Vegas. Hell, they need the help.
But they don't have enough rooms, I don't think.
I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out. I
We'll
guess we'll
see.
find out. He
Mhm.
does have a nice nose, and that's what we can say about him.
Yeah, he has a lickable nose.
Okay, too far, too far.
Oh, really?
What is happening on the Libra Lounge with Keisha this week?
Well, we've got to discuss the whole breakup of Benifer.
Yeah, it was just a matter of time. Just a matter of time.
Which we were just actually counting down.
Mhm.
We're going to give some Kim Zolciak updates and a little breakdown of the latest episode of The Serial Life, and whatever else pops up in pop culture, we will discuss it.
Okay, my dog just started barking. I think that means Anna's home. You guys, Keisha and I will be covering the Love is Blind UK reunion. It comes out, this episode comes out Monday. The Love is Blind reunion also comes out Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Keisha and I are going to watch it in real time, and our episode recapping it will be up around probably 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay.
So that'll be on video. This episode is also on video. So hey, if you, it's a free thing on YouTube. Go look up Pink Shade Podcast. You'll find it there, and that's also in the show notes. If you want to click it, that's great too. And you subscribe to it, all those good things. And let's see what else is going on this week. We got 90 Day the Other Way. I've got that going on with Kimberly, and I do have on Thursday. I have an interview with Margaret Josephs, Queen Marge, Real Housewives of New Jersey. That will be my Bravo episode this Thursday.
Juicy. Cannot wait for that. That's
Please,
exciting.
Lord, now that I've said it out loud, nobody cancel. Please, Lord, let it
Knock on
happen.
wood. Knock on wood right now. Knock on wood.
Manifestation, Lord, hear our prayers. It is scheduled. It is scheduled. It is scheduled.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And that's it. And I will I'll see you later when we talk about Love is Blind UK.
Woohoo.
Bye.